Hey, and welcome back to the second part of our Nubian adventure. So, as you just saw, we entered the classical time era and we just researched a new form of government, and it's the classical republic. So, we are capable of putting four policy slots into our government. Actually, this is really strong, and I got this government really early. Unfortunately, I don't have that great policies yet, so I didn't research great policies. So, nonetheless, nice to have. And actually, what you see here, this was really strange what was happening. So the Brazil guy just traded with me, and I think he wanted to have open borders, and I just saw he had a holy relic, and those relics are quite nice. They give a bit of tourism, I think, but more important, they give for religion. And usually when I see that civilizations have this stuff and I have a lot of gold, I try to just buy those relics from them. So I asked him, what do you want to have for it? And he just gave it to me for free, just for the open borders. Don't know if this was a bug, but just happened. Let's say I won't complain. So far, the relationship with Cleopatra and also with Brazil, they have only be well, I have to say. Now, but in comparison, if you see the Movember guy, he already hates me. I don't even know why. I've not done anything to him. Usually he's a civilization, one of his hidden agendas, or it's even not his hidden agenda, it's his known agenda, is that he can't build his own religion. So he pretty much wants that you convert his cities to your own religion, and if you don't do it, he just hates you. Well, nevertheless, I have two great partners. Even one partner is friendly to me, and yeah, I can live with it. I can trade away my trade goods, so fair enough. Yeah, while I'm telling you all of this, you see the war against the city-states is going on. After I captured Preslav and Kandy, I went for La Venta. It's also a religious city-state. And as you can see, it gets harder and harder to capture those city-states. In this case, it was especially hard because there was an archer within the city-state. So this was the first city-state which could really retaliate. And yeah, it kind of made it a bit harder. But still, the city-state didn't have city walls, so that on the other hand made it a bit easier. So I guess, but this is the last city-state for me which I can conquer easily. I mean, there is one more city-state to the right, Lisbon, but actually I want to keep one city-state where I could put my envoys. Well, and yeah. So we will keep Lisbon under their own control. And while I was talking, you saw I just got my great profit. So my holy districts were working and I could beat the AI for the race to get a religion. So I founded the great religion of Elephantiasis, greatest religion ever created in humankind, and also highly respected amongst all of our elephants. Well, but joke aside, if you choose a religion, you can choose associated traits. For instance, for the Pantheon, so to say the religion tier 1, I added that all stones create 2 holy points. You just saw it maybe just under my capital, there is one stone tile which I improved. And now it pushes 2 points of holy resources. And now with the real religion, not only the Pantheon, so with my Elephantiasis, every city which gets converted to Elephantiasis gets a little bit of happiness, so the people won't get rebellious, so I have a really peaceful religion. And also I have a special building, I think it's a pagoda. And when I build this building, I get additionally I think 3 food and I think 1 housing. Some stuff like that. I'm not sure. But actually some really nice bonuses, I have to say. And yeah, while I was telling you this little story, you see now after Kandy we also captured La Venta, and La Venta is actually also a really nice city because the computer already improved a lot of the surrounding tiles, so pretty much I don't even have to buy a worker. Well, had again the luck that there was an additional worker, so I just bought all the adjacent border tiles, and now I even get additional luxury resources. Now the thing about killing all these city-states and stealing all these city-states is that the really civilizations, they really don't like if you do stuff like that. So they see it as warmongering, and pretty much that's why also Brazil is hating me right now. Cleopatra is kind of saying, well, I don't care, so she still likes me because I'm strong and probably kind of cool. Yeah, but like I said, I'm not the most loved civilization at the moment. And yeah, right now I had some struggle at my starting location because you see here swarms of barbarians were yeah, swarming into my starting area. But since I'm Nubia, I could not purchase, but build those archers very fast and could build a little defensive force. So now I have 2 archers which defend my mainland, and this is also something which I really like about the civilizations, because it is so easy to create a little defensive force. With other civilizations, yeah, barbarians can sometimes be very annoying and really disturb your early game, or in general disturb your warmongering actions, because if you move away your army and you want to attack another civilization and out of a sudden there comes a barbarian, spawns a close barbarian camp, then sometimes you have to cancel all your efforts and move back your whole army. But in this case, like I said, I had these great archer units and I could pretty much defend very easily. Now at this point of the game I was a bit clueless what to do next. I mean, you see, pretty much I can't expand anymore. Everything is surrounded with enemy borders. Well, let's say part enemy, part friendly borders. At the moment Egypt is still friendly. Yeah, but there is basically not a lot of room for me to grow. Lisbon would be the last city-state possibly to capture, but I think they already have their city walls right now, so like I said, this is hard for me to take. And I also want to keep Lisbon because I want to put my envoys somewhere. If there were no city-states for which I could do quests, I would totally waste those points, and so I really like to have a financial city-state where I could put my points. So what I'm doing right now basically is just scouting around with my archers, and as you can see here, with their 3 movement per turn, it's really easy to scout all the area. And in case of Nubia, usually I really like to build scout units, but basically you don't need those scout units, you just build archers instead. So they are as fast as the scouts and they can defend themselves, unlike the scouts. The scouts are just a unit to explore, and they can do nothing else. But the archers, they are an all-around good unit. And when I said I can't expand anymore, that's not completely true, because there are still a lot of great spots. For instance, to the left of my capital there is a nice spot where there are whales, and also there is a salt mine, And so there are a couple of spots where I can send new settlers. And yeah, you see, I'm not the only one who's expanding. Also, there was a settler of Cleopatra, so this is the focus of most of the AIs also. They try to expand now and settle and of course play aggressive. And probably you think I'm now far ahead of everyone because I captured 3 cities, but that's really not the case. All the other civilizations, they all have like 4 or 5 cities as well, because on Immortal these civilizations, they have really great bonuses. They start with 2 cities and they can expand really fast, and they are similar to me. They just take all the small city-states close to them, so they usually are even more ruthless than myself. Now what you saw at the Brazil border, this was really so surprising. There was just a barbarian settler, so it turned out a barbarian just caught a settler and it was just standing around. And so for me this was the perfect opportunity. Just wait 1 turn until I could capture the settler, so pick up the settler then and expand even more within the remaining area we had right here. And now, while nothing too exciting is happening at the moment aside from quite some annoying barbarians, I want to talk a bit about the general strategy a bit more. So in Civilization 5 I really like to push world wonders. So there were some key world wonders like the Great Library or the Petra, which really could push you to win the whole game. And I would even say in Civilization 6 these world wonders are, well, probably not as strong as in Civilization 5, but they are of course still worth to get. But in my experience it's so hard to get these world wonders because the computer, just after 15 turns they build Stonehenge, after 20 turns they build the pyramids, after like 40 turns they build the Oracle. At least on the higher degrees of difficulty it's pretty much well, basically just luck to get a world wonder. So now if you start a world wonder and you waste 20 turns and someone, for instance, builds the Oracle before you do it, you pretty much just lost 20 turns, for instance, in your capital. Well, and on this degree of difficulty it basically equals losing the game. So if you don't build anything in your capital for 20 turns in the early game, yeah, you can just press escape and go back to the main menu and start over again. So, and after a couple of games where exactly this happened to me, I decided, no, don't repeat the mistake, just go push your early advantage and go for world wonders only if you really know that you can get those world wonders. Else it's not worth wasting like 20 turns and getting nothing out of it.